sacrifice is so deep in us, mainly in the women's, and especially in mothers. They think that we need to suffer and sacrifice. I would like to help them. What you can say there?
Well, what I've seen in my study of pre-birth planning for the 3 books is that life plans are set up to be beneficial to everybody who's involved. There are sometimes sacrifices that have to be made, but if those sacrifices are made, the plan calls for it to be beneficial to the person making the sacrifice. That's a very different kind of sacrifice than the kind of sacrifice you're talking about. The way you just described it, the person has not included themselves in the circle of love. And that is really very important to do. Whatever you're doing in the world that's based on love, include yourself in that circle of giving.
Sure, of course, yes. That is one of my main worries, because I know many women, especially, that they think you need to sacrifice themselves to help others, and that is the idea that they push you down. You know what I mean? So that is the reason about the question, and that is the reason I would like to get the more information as possible about this subject, sacrifice, because in the Catholic minds, it's really a big deal with this topic.
Yeah, I understand. I'm a hypnotist, and I practice a form of hypnosis called a between lives soul regression. And in that kind of session, people can talk to their council of elders, the beings who oversee their personal evolution. And you could bring up the concept of sacrifice to your council. Ask them, what did you plan in the way of sacrifice for this current incarnation? And how are you doing in terms of fulfilling those sacrifices? And they can answer those questions. So the between lives regression is the most powerful tool for addressing this kind of thing.
Do you think we are trapped here on Earth? I mean, it's like a kind of a prison, this planet?
I've heard a number of people say that. I personally don't believe that. It's my understanding that nobody has to reincarnate after an incarnation is over, but you have to understand your perspective when you're on the other side is very different than it is while you're here. One of the differences is from the other side, you see that a lifetime is actually very brief. Another difference is that no one is permanently harmed by anything that happens here. And another difference is that you know that the wisdom becomes part of you for all eternity. So from that perspective, you would be much more likely to reincarnate than it might seem while you're here in a body.
Okay.
It's a very different perspective.
Right, sure it is. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about romantic love. In my 20s, I was very interested in, that book, Twin Souls and Soulmate, Saint Germain. So I remember that book because shocked me in that time. Now my perspective or my mind has changed about that subject. But what you can say about romantic love in twin souls?